Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Maria and this is my 5th Flosstube, I believe. Today is April 15 and it is a chilly day outside, but should be warming up here. It should be 70 tomorrow. Over the last several days here in North Texas, it has been unseasonably cold, but it has been very nice. It makes for a nice weather. It is beautiful outside, sunny, and I've been enjoying being outside just a little. We usually take a walk every day, my husband and I, and we cherish that time outside for sure. We have a local park just down the hill from us, and it's pretty quiet, so there's a walking trail down there, and we just walk and come home and continue the rest of our day. That's something we normally do around lunchtime. So anyway, so what have y'all been stitching on? I've been doing some stitching. I have not done as much as I would normally have done over the last 2 weeks, considering I've been staying at home most all the time. We did take groceries down to my parents last week and did a bit of grocery shopping to 2 stores and went home. Actually, it was just 1 store. No, it was 2 stores. Anyway, I've slept since then. So anyway, y'all didn't want to hear about my grocery shopping. Y'all want to hear about my stitching. So let's talk about a finish first. I finished this in February, but did not get to show it because I took the model up to the shop. But this is my version of Beth Twist's Coffee Quaker. Some of y'all may have seen it on Instagram if you follow me, but this is my own colorway. Same pattern, and I fully finished this, I believe, in February, and they asked if I could take it up to the shop. What I did was, this was a picture that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I painted over it. So it's got a light gray color. I did like 2 coats of that, and then I did a dry brush over top with a dark charcoal gray. So you can kind of see here parts of it showing up there. And then I found a clip art picture of a teacup and enlarged that on my computer and made a stencil, did a drawing and then made a stencil, and rather than printing it out. And then so I made the stencil, and then I freehanded this and did some of the shading on it. So yeah, I love how this turned out. The only thing better, which I plan on doing, is putting some hooks down at the bottom. And once I find a permanent location, then I will do that. So right now it doesn't have a permanent home. I had a plan, and then things got moved around. But I love how that turned out. I'm just so excited how that turned out. So that's my finish. I have been working on some other projects, stitching. I can't remember if I showed you my angel from Teresa Kogut, where I'm at. This was my market start as well as my high tea start. And I can't remember if I showed this to y'all. I may have. I haven't had a lot of time to work on it. But that's where I am. Right there. This is on, I believe, 32 count. It's on the called for fabric. 32 count Gothic by Picture This Plus, and it's 2 over 2, or 2 threads over 2 split threads. And I am enjoying this. Looking forward to getting back to it. My next piece, I've been working on this one just on Fridays. On Friday evenings, I do a Zoom call with a bunch of friends here locally. Since we can't get together, I've started doing a Zoom call on Friday nights. And I work on Happy Life by Sam Sarah. Looks like that. It's big. And I mean, the piece of fabric is really large, as you can see. But I have gotten I got almost all the bird done. I need to do the last bit in here, add a beak, and then he has another little tail feather swirling around. But it's going together pretty quick. I started on the words. I finished this and did the words last Friday. Loving that. It is a fun stitch. It is happy. I love the cheerful colors, and it's a relatively, I don't have to count as much as some other things, as you'll soon see. My other consistent piece that I'm playing catch up with is my Satsuma Street Alice in Wonderland piece. And I had done I finished the borders, and I think that's all I had done the last time you saw it. So I just done the outlines of their triangles. I finished all the triangles, so those are all done. And then last night I did all of this. That actually went really fast. I did all that in about a little over an hour. So I'm excited. Alice is going in the middle, and she's going to be so cute. Oh my goodness. This is a fun stitch. I'm having a hard time putting it down because it's fun. Again, another one of those bright and cheerful pieces. My Saturday stitch, I have been working on the Saviours Praise. Y'all have seen this. This was a market release last year at Market by Shakespeare's Peddler, Teresa Vanette. And I am stitching this on 36 count Sea Fog by R&R. This has been a bit of a bear for me over the last 2 weeks. I had been tooling along, got all of this done. As you can see, it's done again, but I was down 1 square. I was one row too low. And when I had put in an urn here, and when I put it in, it was too high. The urn wasn't too high, but because of the line, it was too high. So I ended up having to rip the urn out, and then in the process, this line here has been stitched twice. This has been stitched at least twice, and I have frogged everything, but you know what? I'm still enjoying it. I may do some alphabet instead of doing the vines for a bit, just so I can get that sorted. And alphabet is pretty straightforward. So I am enjoying it, not enjoying the frogging. And then over Easter, I'm in Jan Hicks Creates Stunning Cross Stitch Designs Facebook page, and she is well, actually a bunch of us started Carolyn Manning's Shooting Star By the way, Carolyn Manning has, in case you didn't know, has put her pieces, made a bunch of pieces available on her website as PDFs. And so this is one of those. She released this not too long ago. And that's what the finished piece will look like. Isn't that gorgeous? So vibrant. And it is as bright as it looks. So originally I had started it on 32 count fabric. It's a learning opportunity here. I was going to do 32 count 1/1. I don't know how people do 40 count 1/1. I don't think they can do it with DMC, but I liked it, but I felt like it was just too tight. It was too full. So that's what it looks like. 1/1 on 32 count. And it is a bear if you accidentally put the wrong color in. And sorry for the shadows. Didn't have to take it out. I didn't like how tight it was. So I switched back. My other option was some 22 count Hardanger, which I had a piece of. That's highly unusual. So that's where that's at. Now, as you can see, there. Here, let me see if I can fold it better and you can see them side by side. There you go. Look at the difference. 22, 32. Teeny, teeny, tiny for the 32 count. And I love the size, but did not enjoy stitching it with DMC. I felt like the DMC threads were just a little too thick. But I am enjoying this. This is so much fun to do. And it is a full coverage piece, so looking forward to working some more on that. And I'm trying my hand at using these floss card things. I got these on Amazon, and that way I didn't have to pull from my, I'll just pull from my, I have a DMC case, and I'll pull from that and if I need more. But these are all the threads for that, and I love the colors. As you can tell, right now I need lots of bright and cheery colors right now. But that's kind of how I roll. I do love the bright and cheery colors. So that was my Easter start. And that's it for stitching. However, I did want to show you my little tray that I carry with me when I do cross stitch. I actually cross stitch in several different places here at home, and so I just take this with me. And I have this little Ort container. I think I may have shown this back on my first video, but this is by Heartstring Samplery, and we did this last year. We took a class from Beth and fully finished this with her. And as you can tell, I have some orts. But also in here, I have my little carry case. This goes with me everywhere when I go out, and it hangs out in my tray when I'm at home. In here, I have a variety of different things. A couple needle minders, and a threader. These are my favorite threaders. I like the slimness and the way they work for whatever reason. I have a small pair of scissors that I've had for years and years. I used these for a long time for Hardanger, and don't ask me where I got them or what kind they are. I I picked them up at a garage sale, not at a garage sale, at a flea market, I believe, many, many years ago. And then I also have a pair of tweezers in case I need them. And then I have one of these. This is a, my brain, I can't remember what this is called at the moment. Y'all know, y'all are yelling it at me, I know. Seam ripper. It's a little seam ripper. And I've used this several times over the last few weeks. And then I have a variety of needles. I do like Bowens, but I like John James, and you know, I'm not too picky on my needles. But this will close. I have, like I said, a couple needle minders here. Those I can use when I'm wanting to hold my thread and my fabric as well, or when I'm using a Q-snap. So that sits in that tray. I also have one of these which can hold a hard copy. So it would just sit like this. This was a gift. I believe she picked it up at Office Depot or someplace like that. I have some Thread Magic. And then I have a friction pen. I don't use this as much as I used to, but on occasion I still do. And then I have my Easy Glide needles. I keep these in here in their case because I don't want to lose them, and that way I can keep track of them. And then I have a pair of scissors. On the side, I have, this is a magnet, and I will actually hang my scissors off. I also have a needle minder here as well as a threader. I can move this around, which I usually do. It's usually higher up, like normally in there. And then over here, I will hang my threads. So like if I'm working on Saviours Praise, I'll just have them hanging there and I can pull from that. And I just, this goes with me. Like I said, I have several different sewing spots. And, oh, and I also have a little ruler from Sassy Jacks. And I keep that in there. So those are the things that I use pretty frequently. Just about all of those things go with me, or wherever I'm stitching. So it's easy for me to just carry it and move about. If I'm going to go stitch in our bedroom, which we have a really nice window there, and in the daytime, a nice chair, and I'll sit there and stitch. In the evening, in our living room, I have a stitching spot, and then Friday evenings, I'll stitch in here in my sewing room. When I'm on my Zoom call, or, you know, other days, when I'm feeling like stitching someplace different. So that's all of my stitching, and I appreciate y'all joining me for that. If you're not interested to see what else I am doing, thank you so much for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. But we're going to move on to some quilting and sewing as well as knitting. So thank you. And then, so I haven't done a lot of knitting. The one knitting project I've been working on is the Autumn Road piece. And it looks like this. Isn't that pretty? This is by Hill Country Weavers, which is down near Austin. And the thread, the yarn, the thread, it's not thread, it's yarn, is, I haven't pulled this out. This is the thread band. Ancient Arts. This is fingering or sock weight. It is merino and 25% silk. And the colorway is lot 1986. This was made in Italy and dyed in Canada. AncientArtsFiber.com. So I don't know if you can find it there or not. I bought this last year at the DFW Yarn Festival. And oh, I was going to show you my progress. I am getting close. I have 2 more sections of each. So I have 2 more of these. I'm on one of them. And 2 more of these. So it's going to be pretty large. It doesn't look very big, but then once you block it, blocking means wetting it and stretching it out so you can actually, and then letting it dry so you can actually see the stitches. I am enjoying doing this. I'm not doing a lot of knitting right now. I've been doing more sewing, and I'll talk about that in a second. But hopefully I will have this done by the next time. Don't hold me to it though, because I can't guarantee that. Depends on what happens. So anyway, I made some masks for family and friends. First, I donated the elastic. There was a quilt shop here locally that was making masks for some hospitals in the area, and she actually put a call out for elastic, and so I donated the elastic that I had to that, and did not have elastic, and so I decided I was going to make some masks, but because I didn't have elastic to make the easier ones, I was kind of like, all right, what else can I do? And I went through several ideas and a variety of tutorials online. This is one of the tutorials. Looks like this. There is a wire here that's like you can do it as a nose piece. And this is, oh, good grief. How many times have I talked about this? Let's see. I think this is like my 3rd time making a video. Still working on perfecting these. Bias tape. Anyway, this 1/2-inch bias tape. I only had a small quantity of this, and they would have ended up, was using 1 package per mask, and that was starting to get a little pricey for me. So I needed to look at some other options. This is the back side. It does have a pocket here, and it's where you can put a filter in it if you needed to. So the next option was one like this, and this is actually home decor. This is a yarn that I used the chronic quarter for, and I did several layers. I did not trim it, so you can see that's what the ends look like. And I twisted this, and I made the mask first. So there's a wire here as well, and there's a filter pocket here, and then it goes on like this. You loop this over your head and do it like that, and cinch this up so this goes much closer to your face. These are still new. I made 2 of those. This is actually, I made 3 versions. This was the version, the first one, and I wanted to try doing the folds into the fabric, and decided I didn't like it. So, but this is how it works. Whoop, I put it on backwards. Like this. Who knew you would get a mask? How to apply a mask. So this is how it works. And then you just tie this up like that. So I did 3 of those, but making the cording took too long. I'm like, I'm never gonna get these done if I needed to make like 20 or 30 masks. And so I looked for more tutorials and ended up on this version. This is by Lori Newmaker, I believe. She has a tutorial online, and if you know how to sew, these actually are not that difficult. And then she also has a PDF as well. So there's two colors. There's the inside fabric and the outside fabric, and then this has a pocket. So, and then these I made, this is just a strip of fabric folded in half and serged together and knotted on the end. This was the easiest for me overall. Now the super easiest would have been the flat version with the folds and then add this. If I need to make some more, I may go that route. But you can put a filter on in here like that, and then so they're washable. And that was a pretty, that took me all week last week. So, but I did already deliver them to friends and family that were needing masks. So those are the masks that I made. And then a friend of mine asked me to sew a quilt for her. Basically, she provided the fabric and I put it together for her. And this is the quilt. I'm not going to unwrap it here, but this is the inside of it. And there's a peek at some of the fabrics. It was so much fun to do. And I will insert a picture here. It was quite fun and bright and cheerful, and I think she's going to love it. I sent her a picture, and we're talking about maybe putting some extra border on, and if we do that, then it'll make it a little wider, and she could probably use it on a queen size bed. It's that large. But I finished that on Monday. Yes, Monday. And it was a lot of fun to do that. Just take my mind off and do something different, and brought back my interest and love of stitching and quilting. So that's what I've been doing right now, and been doing lots of cooking, doing our best to stay home. Like I said, I did deliver some masks to friends and family. I have some friends that have underlying conditions that they would not handle getting COVID-19. So that's part of why I made the masks. Those are just more, the masks themselves are more to keep the germs to themselves rather than protect them from other germs. But if they did have to go out, it would at least provide some level of barrier of some form. And other than that, that's what's going on here in North Texas in my life right now. I hope y'all are doing well and you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again next time. Bye.